Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. And in this video we are talking about the latest My Hero Academia chapter because it was absolutely fire. In fact, it was so fire that I had to call the emergency services myself.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here.
We get a ton of information regarding where exactly Horikoshi is taking the story as the war arc Shigaraki is preparing is set in motion. The chapter begins with All Might, Midoriya and Bakugo discussing the other possible quirks Midoriya can manifest from the previous users of One For All. All Might has compiled a binder full of information on the previous One For All holders' quirk, but they seem to like information on the second and third users' quirks as it was so long ago and they like intel on them. We also get confirmation, of course, from Bakugo's opinion that all of Midoriya's quirks are pretty mediocre and trash. Midoriya refutes this by saying that he can train and make them stronger like he did by strengthening his body. All Might then tells us how all the successors of the quirk died young and gives us a reality check on how evil or horrible things really were in the past because of All For One. He killed them all. We then learn about Deku's new quirk, Float, which he has inherited from Nana Shimura, the previous holder of One For All before All Might. We are then treated to a big panel of Nana Shimura alongside her quirk name, and damn, she is jacked, fam.
Damn, boy, he's sick.
But before I explain everything, we also need to learn Deku's second quirk from the 5th user of One For All, which allows him to use the Black Whip. His name was Banjo Daigoro. I don't even know what the hell the kind of name is that, don't ask me, but Banjo Daigoro. Daigoro. Essentially, Black Whip grants the user the ability to produce black tendrils from their arms and command them at will. The original user describes Black Whip as a top grade quirk. It is used for capturing enemies and increasing the user's mobility by grabbing onto objects. And since we know Horikoshi is such a huge fan of Spider-Man, it's pretty obvious where this quirk was inspired from, as it's basically described to work just like the web shooters he has. Now, we all have to remember that Black Whip has evolved within the core of One For All. Once Deku discovered this second quirk, it is explained to us that the vestiges of the previous users are all mixed into a core of our power. It's a small core that has recently started to swell due to the gradual increase of power as One For All was passed down to each user. The core is described to be a hidden source of One For All's power. This is why Midoriya will likely end up being stronger than All Might in the future. Some of you may be wondering why All Might did not use all of these different quirks. Isn't it convenient that this supposed power came all during Deku's time? The answer to that question is that One For All's core was simply not powerful enough for him to use the previous user's ability. All Might was aware of the vestiges and the presence of these previous users as he described this feeling to Deku that he felt a similar thing. But when the second quirk manifested, even he was shocked and genuinely surprised about what was going on as he told Aizawa that something was wrong. In chapter 213, the 5th user of One For All states to Deku, "You've caught glimpses in between those flickering flames of One For All, right?" Now these are the same glimpses that All Might was having, however the difference is that he also states, "You've seen that One For All is growing," meaning that all quirks within are stronger building up to that moment for Deku to be the first person to manifest all of them. The Black Whip only manifested because of his intense concentration to capture someone. So far, Deku in chapter 241, he has gained the ability to use a less powerful and smaller version of Black Whip without any physical strain, and as long as he stays calm whilst using it and doesn't go over 5% of his power, he can so. Later in chapter 251, we see Deku help Endeavor's situation by using the Black Whip on multiple heavy targets such as cars, saving multiple lives at once. He later admits in chapter 253 that he feels as though this is a strong quirk that will help in the future, but he still needs to let his body adapt using it as it throws off his sense of speed due to the brain not keeping up with it. But it's pretty obvious he's really adapting fast due to his hardworking personality and nerd knowledge of writing notes on how every little thing works. Only 3 chapters later, he admits to everyone that I was able to get the hang of this power. Ta-da! So the dude is basically a prodigy. Imagine how fast he can learn the float quirk. We just learned in the latest chapter that Deku has a third quirk to learn from Nana Shimura, which is float. We knew the possibility of Nana having this quirk since All Might mentioned about Deku's mom that her quirk is similar to his sensei. On top of that, when Nana pushed away All Might, she made him fly away with Gran Torino to face All for One by herself. Now as a fan base, we all had our speculation, so congratulations to all of you with your balls deep prediction quirk to get this right.
Yes! Yes!
I mean, think about it. Not only does the float quirk make Midoriya stronger, but this quirk also links him to Araraka. As when we see the panel with Nana Shimura, she is seen floating just like Araraka is. Not only this, but they can help each other train and get better at their quirks, furthering their bond even more. The signs of their ship has been pretty heavy throughout. For example, in chapter 253, we see Araraka in the girls' locker room. Oh, shit.
FBI, open up!
Of course they come now. Damn guys, I'm trying to explain the video. Leave me alone. Where was I? Well, basically, Araraka still has the present from Deku way back from Christmas as she cherishes it. The other girls notice as they tease her that she is still in love with Deku. We also saw Araraka blushing and encouraging Deku in chapter 256 when they are showing off their progress. They both declare that they have turned their new strength to help improve each other, foreshadowing the fact that they will in the future. Literally, and I mean literally, all the characters, even the boys at this point, have noticed how well they get along and they get jealous of their relationship. This means that their ship won't be sinking anytime soon and it will be floating upwards. By the way guys, if you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you, man, and please help a brother out. Can you smash that like button, maybe turn on that notification bell and join the community where we talk about this stuff in the comments. We cover My Hero Academia weekly on the channel, so if we get to 10,000 likes, I'll make sure to do another topic explaining the details behind the Nomu created by the Doctor. So moving on, in the recent chapter 257, Bakugo starts laughing and taunting Midoriya about he already knows how to fly, and Midoriya is gonna have to learn it from scratch, making him become stronger than him, and he's far behind. But since One for All has amplified all the quirks, this means Midoriya may be able to fly in the future. The manga literally compares it with Bakugo, who says, "I fly with my fire quirk, ha 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 ha, you're trash." But then Deku says he will catch up, implying the fact that he will make sure to achieve this power. Another possibility is that Deku will airwalk, as in float and run on air, giving the perception of flying or not bound to the ground. I mean, come on, Deku in the previous arc was showcasing how he just discovered his legs. On a serious note, Deku seems happy about the fact that him and Bakugo are talking. The perception and the progress of their rivalry is fantastic by Horikoshi, and it shows that Bakugo in his year is now acknowledging Deku and giving him the respect he deserves. Deku is like, whoa, this dude is actually talking to me now like a normal human being, when usually he just shouts and this guy's like crazy. We then go outside where we see All Might sitting alone in the cold with Aizawa trying to talk to him. The first thing All Might asks is about Eri and how she is doing. This is where we learn about the training Eri is going through with Aizawa every day to control her quirk, right? Now this means Mirio will possibly get his quirk back after practice, since Night Eye even looked into the future in today's episode and in the previous manga. Remember guys, before he died he saw his future where he told him things are gonna work out fine for him. In this chapter, All Might tells us that he wants to live and how helpless he feels about not being able to help out the students or people in his current state. This further gives evidence to the fact that All Might will die soon. By All Might saying, "I've decided to live," that basically tells the writer, damn, it's time to kill me off the show, bro. All Might's death flags have basically been increasing quite a lot each chapter. For example, chapter 256, All Might says that Deku doesn't even look back towards him anymore like before, and he will not need to. All Might displays a bittersweet smile as his importance to the children is running low through their growth. Now in chapter 257, another huge death flag for All Might is showcased as he admits to Aizawa his feelings that he is no longer required. But Aizawa reassures him that as long as he's around sound and alive, he gives them strength through their aspirations to be like him per se. So with the many countless signs of his death piling up to give this emotional impact it needs, which progresses the plot where Horikoshi needs to go for the war arc to be taken seriously by readers, it does seem pretty soon that All Might may die. We then see the doctor making rounds in the hospital, and it's the same doctor who is connected to the Nomus and All for One. This proves our theory of the doctor being the same one who told Midoriya that he has no quirk when he was a kid. This also lets us know that the Nomus are created through the doctor working at the hospital and stealing quirks from his patients, right? Now, what if Midoriya lost his quirk when he was a kid? We just don't know yet. We are doing a video explaining the Nomus in the future, so be sure to support us as I said earlier in the video. Lastly, the time skip. Deku narrates and states, "The heroes have vanished from the streets." Something like this basically happened. So, given the last line, it must mean Shigaraki, the leader of the new Paranormal Liberation Front, have started or will start to act on their plan, as he himself has manifested a new quirk with the operation being successful from All for One's doctor that we just saw in the chapter. What is that guy doing at the hospital gathering new quirks for, right? But dude, this chapter was absolutely lit. We're getting a time skip, we discovered the new quirk, the war is about to start. What more do we want? Guys, let me know your opinion in the comment section below. I'm really interested. Also tell me on Instagram and Twitter, DM me, follow me, just let me know, god damn it. So yeah, make sure to go balls deep with me tomorrow or next week as we cover this on a weekly basis, and I'll see you guys next time.